I now call Neil Bibby to be followed by Rob Gibson. This is Neil Bibby's first speech in the Scottish Parliament.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. I'm delighted to be able to make my maiden speech in this very important debate about how we take Scotland forward. I'm honoured to have been elected to serve the people of the West of Scotland in this Scottish Parliament. I've lived in Renfrewshire all my life and I'm proud to represent my own community and many other communities across the region. I became involved in politics because I want to make sure the young people who attended my school and all other schools in the West of Scotland get a good education and get the chance to have a decent job, a decent wage and decent living standards. It is these issues that led me to join the Labour Party, and it is these issues that led me to stand for the Parliament. And it's these issues and priorities that will guide me when taking decisions in this Parliament. I will always put the interests of the people of the West of Scotland and opportunity for our young people at the very core of what I do. Raising standards in education and creating job opportunities must be at the heart of the government's agenda. I welcome the SNP's commitment to a youth talent fund and to improving education across Scotland and look forward to seeing the details of these plans. The government has gained a mandate that many thought would be impossible to achieve. I congratulate the SNP on achieving that. The Scottish Government now has a responsibility to rise and meet the expectations of the people of Scotland. Over the next 5 years, Scotland faces huge challenges. However, right now across the country, the cuts are already biting and opportunity has been snatched away from the grasp of many of our young people. Across the West of Scotland, we are seeing the true human cost of these tough economic times. The highest rate of unemployment in the UK and the highest rate of youth unemployment in the UK is in the West of Scotland in North Ayrshire. And in Western Bartonshire, the situation is not much better. In Clydebank, there have been reports of 40 people applying for every available vacancy. Many of these applicants are people who have the qualifications, are able to do a job, but simply cannot find one. This government must rise to the challenges facing Scotland and confront these issues head on. We must invest in the next generation so that young people today have greater opportunities than their parents and grandparents did. My constituents want a government that abides by this principle and stands up for our young people. Now, I do not wish to fill my entire speech with the problems and challenges facing the West of Scotland. That would simply not do the area justice. The West of Scotland is filled with some of the most dynamic and inspiring people you could meet. They rise to the challenges that confront them every day and succeed. The West of Scotland also has many excellent schools, and we must do all we can to support them and help them continue to thrive. A perfect example of this is in East Renfrewshire Council, an authority run by a coalition of Labour, SNP, Independent and Liberal Democrat councillors. A non-partisan example, unless you're a Conservative, has shown what can be achieved when working together with teachers, parents, pupils and staff. East Renfrewshire schools are the best in Scotland, with William and High regularly coming out as the best in Scotland. 46% of pupils achieving 5 or more hires, a remarkable achievement, and I would like to see every school be like William would. However, educational achievement is not just and should not be confined to the more affluent areas. Across East Renfrewshire, from Barhead to Busby, at schools like St Luke's High, opportunities have been created for our young people. In fact, educational excellence and opportunities achieved right across the West of Scotland. In Eastern Bartonshire at Douglas Academy is a shining example of that, and my own former school, Grife High, and other excellent schools in Renfrewshire have given myself and many others the opportunity to aspire. However, it would be wrong to think that full-time education is the only path to opportunity for our young people. Apprenticeships must be at the forefront of the government's agenda for young people. I was proud to support the work that Labour did in the last Parliament to secure thousands of extra apprenticeships for young people in Scotland. I was elected because 92,000 people in the West of Scotland put their trust in Labour. I want to repay that faith and work for all the people of the West of Scotland. With this in mind, and as Ian Gray has said, we will work with the government when we agree, but debate vigorously when we do not. When I arrived at this Parliament, a poem on the wall caught my eye. It was a poem by Edwin Morgan, spelling out the Scottish people's hopes and aspirations for this Parliament. It outlines what the Scottish people want to see and what they do not want. And perhaps above all, to quote, and perhaps above all the droopy mantra of "it wasn't me" is what they do not want. I hope this government and all of us take note of this and go forward, rising to the expectations of the people of Scotland and always putting opportunity in the hands of our young people.
Thank you very much. I now call on Rob.